Know that you don't have to change to be with the person that you want to be with, to be with your person. And no, that doesn't mean be stubborn and stuck in your own ways. That just simply means you can be yourself. And a lot of times relationships do not work because of these three main reasons. And we're going to start with the first one. The first reason is because you lack trust. Lacking trust in a relationship can make or break your foundation. If you don't trust this person, you're not going to expect them to be there for you. You're not going to expect them to make the right choices because they show you through their actions. And with lacking trust, you think that they're talking to someone behind your back just because you don't have access to this person. When you're texting them, ask them, hey, what's going on? What you doing? And they don't respond to you all day. There is only enough time and space within that given moment for your brain to quite literally go into a tangent of thinking the worst case scenario. That is only natural and is only human. However, this majorly happens whenever you have an anxious attachment. A lot of times when you have the other attachment styles, secure and avoidant, secure people also have the instance of where they raise question as to what is this person doing? What exactly are you doing to the point where it takes you hours to respond? They have reasoning behind it. They're not led by emotionally charged excuses and reasons to lash out. The reaction that you get like that comes from an anxious side. Anxious people tend to jump the gun and think worst case scenario. That's just what it is. You always are trying to figure out why and what. These questions are only going to satisfy you when you are given an answer from the person that you're with. Avoidant people, they don't care. Being avoidant, you're just happy that person comes back eventually. You're doing your own thing. You're filling your own time with your void. And you're avoiding conflict by asking them, why are you gone for so long? You're okay that they're back. That's basically what avoidant people do. But I want to focus more so on anxious people because with having anxiety, you have to learn how to regulate your emotions yourself. You have to cope. Coping with being alone and being by yourself because you were by yourself before you were in this relationship or pursuing a relationship with this person. Being anxious does not help anyone. It doesn't help yourself because you're constantly in a state of panic. You're in a state of being worried about this person, lacking trust. And with you being anxious, this may cause the person that you're pursuing to lose interest. You're putting a lot of pressure onto them and expecting them to always satisfy you. Granted, within a relationship, you are supposed to compromise and be able to back your partner down. However, it gets to a point where people who are anxious constantly asking throughout the entire day, the entirety of their day, what is it that you're doing from A to Z, constantly checking in every 2 hour, 3 hour. It gets exhausting. It gets to be too much. Give people time, give people grace, but don't give them so much time that they have the leisure of not responding to you, not talking to you. Because if they go multiple days without speaking to you, there's no person in this world that is that busy to forget and to not remember to respond to you. That is the type of person that shows you that they are not ready for this relationship, and that is a reason why the relationship will never work to begin with. An additional reason why relationships do not work is you expect yourself in another person. By expecting yourself in another person, you expect them to respond the way that you do. This is a fault on your behalf because you're putting them on this kind of mirror. It's not a pedestal, but you're putting them in this reflective mirror, expecting them to be your twin, your copy, your clone. People do not behave exactly like you, no matter how much you have in similarities with this person, how much you guys have in common, how often you guys are doing things together, you're enjoying each other's company. You may pick up each other's lingo, you may have that solid foundation like that, but no, this person is not you. And I get it. It definitely happens to us. We expect them to be the way that we do. And when they respond in a way that you wouldn't respond, you take it personally. You're like, wow, I would never do that person like that. I would never do my person in this manner. And instead of realizing that this person is not you, you hold resentment. You hold it against that person because they acted out in a way that you didn't see yourself doing. But maybe this is a way that they saw themselves doing and they didn't see it as a problem. They don't see it as a problem until you communicate. And also, I want to go on the side of people do realize what they're doing. I'm not going to give anybody grace to say, oh, them forgetting to talk to you is something that they normally do. You don't forget to talk to your favorite person, right? You don't forget to do anything for a person that you truly want to build with. When you're doing yourself so much so that you supposedly forget about this person, they were never a priority to begin with. This is something that you must internalize and not take out on that other person, because that is not a reflection of you. When you're in a relationship with someone, you like to put them first. You like to do things for them that show you that you are interested in this relationship. This other person doesn't. Do not allow yourself to settle and nest into people who do not give you what you are looking for. But they should not be an exact replica of yourself, because people are not perfect. We are not going to get a perfect person, and you yourself aren't a perfect person either. We do things that we may not see are a red flag to someone else, and it's up to them to have that communication. And that is another reason why relationships do not work. Communication isn't there. The lack of communication can cause things to spiral out of control if you let things go unchecked for X amount of time. There is only filler for your brain to go off on a tangent to fill it with these negative thoughts, these crazy scenarios that you create in your head that will never be a reality. But you still think about it because you don't communicate. You have that time to think by yourself. And thinking by yourself, you have to do it in a positive manner. Because if you let these bad thoughts take over, you are only thinking of what could go wrong. Do not always think of what could go wrong, because things could go right. You have to give them the opportunity to show you better, to show you different. Because people repeat patterns. It takes a while to break a habit. And with breaking habit, you can see someone who is actively trying to break them, or just using words to satisfy you for the now, to dismiss that problem, and to continue doing what they were doing beforehand. Do not settle for that. Do not think that this is change. Just by hearing that they will change, you have to see change. You have to see action. You can tell that these people are not willing to be open and sacrifice because patterns persist. If you are willing to change for a person that you want to be with, you will undoubtedly see that change. You will see that effort, and you will see that person wanting to grow and elevate with you. Not being able to sacrifice these things that you desire is showing you that this person does not value this relationship, and it will not work out. Communicate effectively and talk about the things that you desire, and talk about the things that they desire. That compromise and balance comes from communication. And without communication, you will have a relationship that is one-sided. You have a relationship that is unbalanced, has you worried and stressed while this other person is living their carefree life, reaping the benefits of you because you're constantly giving, because you're trying to get more attention from them. You don't want to overgive to where you lose yourself. You do not have to lose yourself in a relationship. Know that you are important. Know that you matter. And know that you matter enough to get up and walk away. You should not settle for something that you do not see yourself staying in. And even if you see yourself staying in this relationship, but it's not changing, they are not willing to give you the compromise that you're seeking, leave. It is easier said than done, but it will hurt less in the long run, because you're being strung along. You're hurting yourself by overstaying your welcome. And your welcome isn't even welcoming anymore, because this person is dismissing you. They're going to continue living their life and doing the things that they want to do, with or without you. And you have to be okay with that. Walk away. Know that certain relationships are worth fighting for, and certain ones are, you just got to let it die. Just walk away. And I believe those are the main reasons why relationships fail. There are a multitude of many different reasons why relationships fail, but in this given time, generation, we just lack trust, communication, and compromise. We all want to do our own thing, and we all expect people to do their own thing. We expect people to act out of their nature. We expect people to cheat. We expect people to do this, and that, because it's publicized. Know that as long as you remain true to yourself, you don't have to worry about what the media says. Stop thinking about the media and start doing for yourself. It's that easy. Do not live in negativity.